all the billionaires once lived in middle-class families. The middle class is an important pillar of any society. The shrinkage of the middle class is good. The shrinkage of the middle class can also lead to a political unrest in a country. When I was in high school, around 80% of the kids with me belonged to middle-class families. But this is not the case anymore. The American middle class is highly stressed out in current times due to a number of different factors. A 2015 article in the Financial Times said that 1 in 5 US adults lived in poor or about to become poor households. Between 1970 and 2021, the aggregated income of the American middle class alarmingly decreased from 62% to 42%. This indicates that the middle class is being squeezed hard, with only 50% of the Americans categorized as middle class now. This is alarming for the American economy and the society, because the middle class is that group of society that keeps it balanced. However, when a country's middle class shrinks, society becomes more unequal and is more likely to experience instability. So in this video, I'll go over why has the American middle class faced one of the greatest challenges recently, what are the causes of this meltdown, and how can this crisis be reversed? But before we dive into the reasons why the American middle class has been shrinking over the past 50 years, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Tasvir Mirza. I'm a realtor and a diversified investor based in South Florida, and you're here for your dose of entertainment. Reasons for the American middle class meltdown. A question must be coming to your mind: why is the American middle class declining? So first, let's look into some of the major reasons for this alarming crisis. There are mainly 5. Increased cost of living. Everyone needs a roof over their head, right? But the current financial situation is making it increasingly difficult for middle-class Americans to rent a place to live, let alone buy one. Let's take an example of New York. In 2024, the average city living cost will be $4,299 per person. More than $3,000 of this amount goes to rent, whereas one can find a reasonable place to live in New York for around $600 in the 1990s. Cost of living has gone up, sure, but did your income increase? Actually, no. Stagnant wages. Actually not, even though we all want increments in our salaries. Remember, steady income growth is one of the very effective ways to keep people in the same class that they were born into, even if it doesn't elevate them to a better financial class. Wages in America, however, are stagnating. The inflation-adjusted wages for the US worker has stagnated since the 1970s. This stagnation of wages is another factor why the middle class in America is shrinking. But in a perfect world, even the wages would have gone up, inflation would have knocked your financial plans out cold, increasing inflation. Things have been getting expensive lately, right? In the wake of the pandemic, inflation in the United States skyrocketed. It broke the very backbone of the American middle class, which was already struggling. The average inflation rate in 2022 was 6.5% compared to 0.7% in 2015. This exponential increase in inflation has affected the middle class, furthering its meltdown. Basic household commodities are slipping out of the reach for people now. And just so this video doesn't fall under the YouTube suppression line, if you're finding value in it, please like the video so the video can be recommended to other viewers like you. Automation and unemployment. Over 400,000 jobs in the United States were lost in the automation between 1990s and 2007, just to give you an idea. And the advent of AI and automation has dealt a major blow to the job market. The unemployment rate in the United States was 3.5% in November 2019. While this may seem normal to some people, it is a level that has not been in the US since the 1960s. We're talking about a time period when the automation was not so relevant in the industry. Imagine how many jobs are being filled by AI and machine learning these days. The pandemic. The global economy was hugely impacted by the pandemic. Many countries went into recession, and many businesses were forced by the pandemic to shut down permanently. The United States economic output would have been at least 14 trillion higher from 2020 to 2023 had it not been for the adverse economic effect of the pandemic. According to the United Nations, 34 million people were pushed into poverty due to the pandemic in 2020 alone. The pandemic impacted the US economy as well, pushing millions of people from the middle class below the poverty line. Before we jump into the actual consequences of the shrinking of the middle class, consider joining the community by subscribing below. So why is the middle class necessary? Now, we've seen the reasons why the middle class is shrinking. Let us now see the ways in which the middle class contributes to the society. Promotion of human capital. The middle class is a key component in the development of human capital in a country. When the talents and skills of a child belonging to a middle class are properly polished, they're given the suitable opportunities human capital builds. This results in creating an educated and skilled workforce that helps drive the economy. Stable source of demand. The middle class is important for the businesses too. A strong middle class is a stable source of demand for goods and services. This gives certainty to the investor as it creates a consumer market for its goods and services. And one thing that will raise the demand of this video is your support. Consider liking the video for YouTube. Incubation Center for Entrepreneurs. Have you ever thought about which socioeconomic class most entrepreneurs come from? Be it Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, almost all the billionaires of today once lived in middle-class families. This is because an individual born into a middle-class family will have both the hunger and the skills to start their own business and move up the ladder. Most middle-class entrepreneurs become successful because their families can provide financial assistance to their businesses for the longer period than someone from a lower income group, inclusive political and social institutions. The middle class has a lot of influence over the governance of a country. It boasts an efficient governance model which contributes a betterment of society. In the presence of the middle class, political institutions respond more to the interests of the common people than to those of the powerful elite. Similarly, a strong middle class results in the establishment of inclusive economic institutions, which consequently contributes to economic growth. So we went over why the middle class is necessary and the reasons why the middle class is shrinking. But what are the actual consequences of shrinking of the middle class? Well, when the middle class shrinks, it brings along a lot of implications for the society. Economic and social inequality increases, and the upper class faces more social pressure. Moreover, the supply and demand chain is greatly disrupted as well. This is because the businesses that caters to the demand of the middle class no longer have the consumer to sell their products to. The shrinkage of the middle class can also lead to a political unrest in a country. A society without a middle class results in a gap between the lower and the upper classes, which makes it difficult for people of the lower class to improve their financial condition. Economic mobility is greatly reduced when the middle class gets smaller. This introduces a sense of frustration and hopelessness among the masses who belong to a lower income group because they find it hard to move up the economic ladder. The government also faces increased pressure to introduce social services such as free healthcare. The public exchequer might not be able to meet such demands. The middle class is an important pillar of any society, as it ensures the circulation of capital in any country's economy and socio-political stability. The shrinkage of the middle class is good only if the people leaving the socio-political economic group are moving up in the financial ladder. However, this is not the case when it comes to the American middle class. As discussed earlier, the group of people that shrunk considerably, but most individuals and families have become poorer than they used to be. A number of factors such as the pandemic, artificial intelligence, and automation, higher cost of living, and inflation have pushed the American middle class to the brink of perishing. So if this alarming crisis of the American middle class is not taken seriously and addressed properly, it can have far-reaching consequences. But here's the plot twist. There are outside factors that contributes to the shrinking of the middle class. However, there are some of our mistakes that also contributes us falling under the poverty line. Don't know how? Check it out in this video. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. See you in the next video.